So this game is called Flower, and you play as Flower. Very straightforward. It's just a pretty basic little game. I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's very simple. You fly around as a petal, and you get more petals. It's an artsy game. It's made by a company called like Annapurna or something like that. They make artsy stuff, and this is an artsy game. And I probably should have had some water before I started. Anyways, well, I decided I would write down some topics rather than just kind of just shoot the breeze, just on a whim. I thought, why don't I write down a couple things that I know a little bit about? Because I'll tell you what, I like the way the last recordings came out because I knew, hold on, give me 1 second here. I knew a lot about how my day went and how I was awake for a long time, so I felt like that was kind of easier to kind of go off on. There we go. Sorry. But this is the game. You just sort of fly around as petals and... Oh goodness. That's a new feature. Yeah, but this is a game to just kind of feel good and, you know, have fun. But anyways, I figured I'd probably have more to talk about if I just write down things I know I can kind of go off on. And so I wrote some stuff down, and here's one of those topics right now. Once I get this thing. Okay, yeah, right. So one of the topics I wrote down is how I got back into drawing again. And I haven't been drawing that much lately, but I have been drawing occasionally. Before, at least. How do I get these? I just need this one. Come on. There, finally. I like how you can kind of like swirl around. That's me up there. Kind of like a dragon. But, and I wasn't planning on playing this. Okay, I got a reminder on my phone. I wasn't planning on playing this artsy game to talk about art. I just wanted to play something that was easy, mind-numbingly easy, so that I could just kind of talk. I just want something in the background to kind of keep me occupied and keep you visually stimulated, because that's kind of the whole point of this whole Let's Play thing. A little bit easier with the person to actually like riff off of, I'm assuming. I haven't really recorded anything with anyone else yet. But yeah, drawing. So I used to draw a lot when I was a teen. Almost exclusively anime. And I was not good at it. My anime did not look like anime, although I was obsessed with anime. I tried my darndest to draw it. Yeah, I kind of stopped watching anime and definitely stopped drawing it. I don't really explore new anime or anything like that. I like the most anime that I've done is like rewatch Cowboy Bebop and watch some of Attack on Titan. But you know, just shows in general. I haven't been really watching shows. I've been watching Nathan For You recently. But let me get back to drawing. So, there's a period of time where I just really wanted to become like an animator or like a well-known artist or something. I wanted to be an illustrator. And that's not to say I still can't do those things. You know, drawing is a skill you can build up, and you know, there's no like time in your life when you can't do that unless you like, you know, lose your hands or something, or even then that's debatable, but still. I don't mean to get so morbid, but yeah, I did it for a long time, and then maybe I want to say when I was like 20. Yeah, I think that right around when I was 20 years old, I started taking my art a little bit more seriously, and that I started doing more like still life stuff. I started doing like charcoal. I took an art class. I tried experimenting with shading and hand postures and things like that. And it was weird because I used to really get enjoyment out of drawing terrible anime. And then I started taking myself way too seriously and learning all this stuff and getting really good and studying, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. But I was like obsessed with like, oh, I gotta, like I was like on, you know, the ride or die path to be like, I want to be like a well-known person. I want to be talented. I want to do everything. I want to have a show. I want to work on, you know, something cool. But then I just sort of lost interest in taking my art so seriously when I was like 20. And instead I started experimenting around with marker and pens. Because for so many years I was just like doing something in pencil and then inking it. Doing something in pencil and inking it. Doing something in pencil and inking it. But really there's something about just drawing in pen or markers that's just something so liberating about it. It's so like permanent. It just takes away any like worry or fear you have of like, you know, oh, I gotta erase this and make it look nice. You know, if you have a pencil, it's like, oh, I gotta redo this line, or I don't like the quality of this line. It's like with a pen or a marker, what's on the page is on the page. Like that's it. And so there's something so permanent about it that's just kind of liberating. So I started experimenting, like in 2010 or 2011, I started experimenting a lot with pens and markers. And then for some reason, you know, not for some reason, when I basically moved out of my mom's place back in like 2011, I started living with my cousins, and then from there I started living with roommates in different places for a few years. Well, for many years. But I just sort of gave up art because I just didn't think anything was going to become of it. I did enjoy it for a period of time, but I just stopped. And, you know, I do still, you know, fancy stationery, and I like looking at pens and markers and drawing utensils and things like that. Like art supplies still like tickles my fancy, you know, like I like going through Michael's and looking at the pen nibs and things like that, and the Sculpey, and I like all that stuff. But recently, I've been getting back into drawing, like I said, and I will talk a little bit more about that in the next video, about my current journey, because this was kind of like the pre-story behind my art. Now in the next video, I'm going to talk about where I am now. And this is a fine place. to stop the video. Goes the cap on the video limit. Alright, I'll be right back.